Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. So today I want to show you my new range of cage feeders. They don't look like they're particularly anything different to all the other manufactured ones out there. There's a small, a medium, a large, an XL or extra large, 2XL and 3XL. At this point, if you're only fishing snake lakes and small commercials, you're probably not going to need anything like this because you've probably only got half a dozen feeders of this variety in your box. But for me, I fish all sorts of different venues. Some are big, some are small, some are well stocked, big fish, some are small fish. So I've ended up with this whole stack of feeders here, and these are just cage feeders. Well, there's a couple of method feeders in there, but for the most part, those are cage feeders. It takes up a lot of space, and the reason for that is, if we look at the normal sort of manufactured feeders, these ones are from Guru. I think this is a medium and a large, very often referred to as 4 squares and 5 squares, and quite often there's a 3 square version or even possibly a 2 square version at the time as well. Now, the thing with these is they've all got this similar sort of thing where they have the stem. So if you want to change a feeder to go to a bigger or a smaller one, or you want to change the weight of the feeder, you push the stem through, pick up another feeder. Let's say this is a different size of feeder, push it back on, clip it back onto your line, and you're ready to go. But the point of these is that you're changing the whole body of the feeder. Now, if we assumed that there were, I don't know, let's say 2 or 3 different weight sizes for small, medium and large. So let's say it's 20, 30 and 40 grams for each of them. They do vary across the range, but immediately if there's 3 for them, 3 for them and 3 for them, there's 9 feeders. If, like me, you decide that you want to carry at least one set of spares, you're up to 18 feeders, and so it goes on. That doesn't take into account all of these large range of feeders, and it also doesn't take into account the other range of feeders I've got. Bear with me. And here, which is, let's just move these out of the way, cage feeder versions for use in rivers. And again, these are XL, 2XL and 3XL, but we'll put them on one side for now so we don't confuse the issue. But hopefully you're getting to see the point here that you end up possibly carrying a whole lot of feeders. So because I've got a 3D printer and I'm able to design them myself, what I've done is I've taken a standard sort of a feeder. Let's put these on one side and I'll use this side. And instead of using a stem, what I do to replace it, instead of clipping this off and clipping on a different weight, if I want to, I've got these weights on these sleds. This is lead weight. The feeder weighs 10 grams, this weighs 10 grams. I'll put it in sort of this way around for you so you can see. You put it in, push it down, and then it's just a question of pushing that little button in, and it's then solid. It's not going anywhere. If you want to change it, I've got this little releasing device. You could do it with your fingers, but with the arthritis, I don't do that. Push it in, and then you can take out the sled and replace it with, in this case, let's say a 20 gram weight. And again, push this in, and we're now fishing. So you don't have to take off the main body of the feeder. You're only replacing the little weights here. So I'm now carrying around a sort of a selection of these, sort of put together. I'll grab a few of them. I tend to carry them in little elastic bands, but there's 3 of the sleds with weights in, elastic band around that, and that's effectively 3 feeders worth. So I haven't got to have 3 of those taking up space. Now if I show you on this larger feeder, so you can see it a bit better, with this extractor, when you push the button in, one of the fears of course is that you end up pushing the button all the way through and you lose the button itself. But you can't do that because on the extractor there's a sort of a flange on it, and that goes into the body of the sled here, and it can't go any further than that point there. Of course, if for some reason you've had a breakage, not that I've had one, but let's assume one of these buttons broke. If you want to, you can do the same thing, oops, and push it through again like that. And literally, that's all this is. Put the button in. I have to do it so it's facing me because I can't see what I'm doing otherwise. goes in like that, and then as I've shown you before, sled in, push, and it's locked. And that's the beauty of these new feeders. Now, the other thing about them is, and again I'll use this larger one, you'll notice that the back is obviously flat and the weight is at the bottom. Now, the idea behind that is, first of all, this flatness helps it to sit on the bottom, so you can use it on lakes, but also you can use it on rivers. Not necessarily the faster flowing rivers, but on certain rivers you can use this rather than the wire cage feeder variety, which I've also got, and I'll show you in a second. And again, the weight is on the bottom, so it always lands face down like that. You never have an issue with it rolling like that, because if I put this down, as you see, automatically from wherever you are, whoops, it goes back to sitting on its base. The other thing is, the weight is at the bottom, so it's weight forward when it's travelling through the air like that. So this casts really well. Now I did start off, I've got one here somewhere. Again, this is the larger variety of it. This was more sort of tubular. And this one, you can probably see, is slightly flatter. And the idea with that one is, if there is a flow, because I will use these in certain rivers, that will actually keep this thing a lower profile, and therefore it'll sit on the bottom a lot better. Of course, and this is an experimental one now, I've used versions of this, the standard sort of round one, in exactly the same way. Let's put a 40 gram weight in this one, put that in, click, and then that's been working really well. Then it occurred to me, if I make the base a little bit wider, I can make this a little bit flatter in the same way as I did with this one. And again, if I'm on really sort of heavy flowing rivers, that'll help to hold against the flow. So we've got quite a combination of different feeders here, and I'm hoping that next week when I go and fish the Feeder Only Festival, these will do me some good. I will only be fishing with the XL, 2XL and 3XL because it's a huge venue with a huge stock of carp. These smaller ones I will be using, see they always have to fall over on you because it's got a weight on the back. These smaller ones I'll use in probably smaller ponds or where there's not such a big head of fish, or many different reasons. But hopefully what I've shown you is a range of feeders, which is going to mean I don't have to carry 3 full boxes anymore. And I've got versatility of everything from sort of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 gram weights on any of my feeders, except obviously these small ones, but on the big ones. These small ones probably, I'll make those to go up to about sort of 45, 50 grams, something like that. But the good news is that I can make whatever I want. And in fact, I've even got one here. That's just a blank sled. I didn't actually know if I was going to use it, but as I was printing these things, I thought, well, if you've got a feeder and you want it to sink slowly, just put the blank sled in the back and you can now have a slow sinking feeder. May or may not use it, but hey, I don't know. But as I say, by the time you see this video, or by the time this video gets published, I'll be fishing in this Feeder Only Festival, and with a bit of luck, this will bring me a little bit of winnings. You can always live in hope, can't you? Anyway, that's it guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you thought this was a useful scenario. For those of you with 3D printers, I will at some point get these up on Thingiverse for you so you can see for yourselves what they are, and if you want to print them, feel free to do that. And if you're one of the big manufacturers and you want to copy them because you think they're good or not, then you can download them from Thingiverse too. But that's it guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, please feel free to do that too. And until the next time, bye for now.